OPay is about to go public, though not in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, but the New York Stock Exchange at a valuation of $4 billion. But here's the truth nobody will tell you. The real money won't be made by people who rush in. It will be made by those who understand this one number. If you live in Nigeria, you have probably used OPay either for transfers, or POS, or airtime in general. It is everywhere. But now, OPay Digital Services Limited is preparing for listing in the US stock market sometime in the last quarter of 2026. And investors are asking, is this a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity or another overhyped IPO, that is initial public offering? I will break down this video into 6 sections for in-depth perspective. In section 1, we must look at the numbers. Let us deal with facts and not hype. They actually have strong revenue growth. In 2025, their revenue was about $614 million. US dollars, I mean. They have had growth at about 28% year on year. OPay Services Limited have more than 40 million users with monthly transactions exceeding $12 billion. Their last valuation was done in 2021, and that was a valuation of $2 billion US dollars. Its recent valuation has not been published recently, but it is estimated to be about $3 billion US dollars. So for them to want to be valued at $4 billion US dollars poses an important question, right? Is gold strong enough to justify this valuation? Though this company is not a startup that would be guessing its future, this is a company already moving serious money. They are already monetized in the financial system here in Nigeria. And yet they want a $4 billion US dollar valuation. This could be one of Africa's biggest tech listings ever. So let's head over to section 2. Here we'll look at that one number that matters. Remember that number I talked about in the introduction of this video? It is that number that we would consider in this section. So here is the number you need to understand, and that is the price to revenue ratio. For stocks already listed, we use the price to earning ratio to determine the stock's valuation. But for initial public offering, the metric that is used is the price to revenue ratio, that is PS ratio. At a $4 billion valuation, OPay is trading at about 6.5 times its revenue. Now listen carefully. Mature fintech companies is valued at 2 times to 4 times, right? Like the PayPal and the rest. Then growth fintech companies is valued at 4 times to 8 times, right? Like the PayScience and the likes. Overhyped IPOs are usually valued 8 times and above. So where does OPay fall in all of this? So if you look at it, you see that OPay falls right in the middle, but it is leaning towards the expensive side. So in section 3, we'll look at the 3 valuation zones. This particular part is where a lot of investors lose or some win big. So we'll look at the cheap zone in its valuation, that is between 2.5 billion US dollars to 3.3 billion US dollars. If OPay lists here, this is where you go aggressive into the OPay IPO. You might want to ask why, right? It is because you are buying close to its real private valuation. So if you are buying a particular stock at its private valuation, that shows that the company is not raising its valuation above its real valuation. So at that particular point in time, you are buying it at a reasonable price. Then we have the second one, which is fair value, right? This value should be between $3.2 billion to $4 billion. This is where most IPOs get priced. You are not early, but you are not late at the same time. At this zone, you don't go all in, you go strategic. So later in the video, we look at this strategic plan. So the third valuation is the danger zone, right? This is between $4.5 billion to $6 billion and above. If OPay gets priced here, you're not investing anymore, right? You are funding early investors' exit. So the early investors are the private equity financiers. So those people that have put money in the company, because the only reason why they are going public is to generate more finance, right? So that is the main reason they are going public, to generate more funds. So if they are valuing their stock at a very high range, right, it means that they are just using other investors as an exit plan. So in section 4, we look at what Nigerians are not being told. So let us get real for a second here. So 1, you may not even be able to access the IPO, right? It is going to be listed in the US stock market, which means there will be foreign exchange issues, right? Getting access to foreign currencies will be a bottleneck to participate in this IPO. But as you know, foreign exchange is usually scarce, so for you to get it, you have to exchange your naira for a higher value of the US dollar compared to the CBN rate. Again, you have limited allocation. Due to the listing in non-Nigerian market, the quota allotted to some brokers, right, in Nigeria would be quite limited. Another point is there could be broker restrictions, right? This can play a crucial role on how Nigeria acquires this IPO, because it is not all brokers that have access to IPO in the New York Stock Exchange, right? IPO are quite exclusive offers for the most part. So if it is not being listed in a particular country's market, getting it from an offshore country would prove to be a little bit difficult. So the second hidden fact is that the profitability is unclear. We know their revenue, right? But what about the profit? That is where many fintech actually collapse. For business to scale, forget revenue for a moment. Profit is king, profit is queen, and profit is everything in between. So the profit has to be top notch, because most fintech companies, they operate on a free basis. So some of them might not have started monetizing, right, until they get to a scale that they can. But for OPay, I believe that they've started monetizing. But what is their profit margin? That is what has not been declared publicly yet for OPay. So the third factor we'll consider is regulatory risk. It's real, right? OPay in the past had faced the CBN restriction before. In Nigeria, policy can change overnight. A new government could come and upturn the present condition of their operations. So nothing is written on stone. They might be having it easy now, but what about in the nearest future? What about in the next year, the next couple of years? You never can tell. So the fourth factor that could be challenging to OPay right now is competition is brutal, right? Also operating in the same phase, we have the likes of Flutterwave, we have the likes of MoneyPoint, and we also have PalmPay, right? This is not a monopoly game at all. You see these big three, they are all trying to outdo the other in the fintech space. So that is why competition is pretty stiff in the fintech payment services terrain. If you can relate to any of this and you are getting value from this video, please hit that subscribe button now, and don't forget to like and share this video with that person you know that needs to see this. So now let's get back to the video. So let's jump into section 5 now, where we look at why this IPO still matters, right? Having looked at the challenges or what is not clear earlier, let's look at why this IPO might still matter. Now, do not get it twisted, right? OPay is still one of the strongest fintech plays in Africa, no doubt about that. You want to ask why, right? It's because it has massive distribution with more than 600,000 agents across Nigeria. That is 600,000 working ATM, right? These agents dominate the agent banking network. They are among those riding Nigeria's cashless economy shift in a big way. This is a real company with real use case, with real usage. Let's look at section 6, which is the final section, the smart strategy. Remember the strategy that I talked about earlier? So here we'll break it down further to see how smart investors will implement this smart strategy. So how should you play this, right? Number one, do not go all in on this IPO. Number two, you have to use this formula, and that is 30% early entry. Then next is the 70% after the dip. After the retracement, that is when you could possibly put in 70% of your intended capital for this IPO. Because here is what always happens with popular companies on listings. So first, you see that there's IPO hype for that particular company, right? The second is you see price spikes in the first month, in the first 30 days. You see that the price will have a sharp shoot up. So third, this is where reality hits, which will see the stock corrects back down. This is between 2 months to 6 months. That's when it takes that particular IPO to correct down. Then the true trend of the stock begins to show. The real money is made after the hype has died down. So OPay is not the problem. The valuation is the game here. At $3 billion valuation is an opportunity, right? At $4 billion valuation, you have to be patient with the stock. Then at 6 billion and above valuation, please just walk away, or better still, you can run away. This IPO is high quality but not low risk. The biggest risk is not the company, but it is the price you pay at IPO, because your return depends 90% on the entry valuation. That is the price that you buy that particular stock at. That is where your profit or your return depends wholly on. So if you buy extremely high, you will probably have to wait for a very long time before you can even break even, or before you can realize your initial capital of buying that stock. So you have to be very careful on your entry price. So if you want me to give you an in-depth comparison of OPay, PalmPay and MoneyPoint to find out the most sustainable amongst them all, comment fintech giant, right? Put fintech giant in the comment section for me, because the next wave, right, of wealth in Nigeria would actually be created in fintech, as financial technology. So I look forward to see you in the comment section. If it is that you want to know how to lock your profit, right, and ride your gains in the NGX, you might want to watch this video over here, because I gave a solution to how you can take profits from your stock holdings, right? So remember guys, wealth is not luck, wealth is built from information, and you have to follow it with execution. Until the next time I see you, I salute.